Hey, what is good everyone? So in this video I'll be teaching you guys how to play support in Roblox Dday. So of course, starting off, the guns. The Axis gets the MG42, does around 1200 RPM and 50 rounds in the mag, and the allies get a M19 18 bar, which has I believe 40 rounds of ammo. So of course, this class has very different playstyles on both teams, given that the Axis almost always defends and the allies almost always attack. So I'll be covering the Axis first, as that's the one that everyone likes. So to start off, you can only shoot for a short burst before you run out of ammo. And of course, your reload speed isn't amazing, so you should try to reload as little as possible when you're defending. However, always keeping yourself reloaded is pretty good if you're in a tight situation, because reloading takes quite a while. Get caught while reloading, you're basically dead, to be completely honest. So shoot in bursts at long range for the best accuracy and for the best results. You don't want to hold the shoot button for too long, otherwise you'll be both less accurate and you have to reload more often. Also, because your walk speed is quite a lot slower than other classes, you should probably stick to defending and choosing one or two cover points that you can move between, because you won't be able to move between them very quickly. So try to find a good, large piece of cover that you can hide behind in order to give yourself the best chances of holding the enemy back, as you won't be pushing up this grass most often. As always, you're more accurate when you stand still, so combined with the short bursts, make sure to stand still and just tap the shoot button, not hold it down. And this is really important for this class. Of course, you have this big crate of helmets on your back, so make sure to resupply your team. That is very important. It gives you, I believe, 1 XP per resupply, so that's an extra 3 XP per crate, which is pretty good considering that it's basically free and you're not in any danger. Make sure to place the helmet crate in a place that is accessible to your team, but they don't have to run out into the open, for example, to get themselves a helmet, otherwise they'll probably die, and what's the point in that? Next, just because you have an automatic gun, that doesn't mean you can't snipe people. This gun, the MG42 specifically, is actually pretty accurate when you fire in bursts, even at long range. So if you can play rifleman, you can probably play the MG42 as well, quite efficiently. Also, because you have extra health, more than any other class, you can get away with being headshot by a sniper, so it can be a bit more risky when it comes to poking your head out compared to other classes. And because you shoot so fast and you do 33 damage per headshot, it only takes 2 bullets to take out a sharpshooter, and you can shoot them way faster than they can shoot you twice. And of course, because you can throw just so many bullets at the enemy, you can use the suppression effect to make the screen all blurry and dark, unable to see your team, which is another advantage of the MG42. This class is also good at medium to short range. Spray and pray if you really have to, and probably most of the bullets will hit. In other words, this class is just goated, to be honest. You can take it at almost any range, apart from like sharpshooter level, 200 meters away, and you'll probably get quite good results, at least on the Axis. But that brings us to the allies, who aren't quite as good, but still worth talking about. So the allies, as I said before, the allies get an M19 18 bar, which is a battle assault rifle, I believe. Anyways, this thing isn't quite as good as the MG42 but it does have some uses, so let's talk about it. So first off, you have the same downside and upside as the other class, more health but lower speed. This gun also does quite a bit more damage, 44 damage per headshot. So you only need 3 shots or even 2 shots for some classes to kill them, which is a nice bonus. The reload is also very fast, comparable to that of the greased gun, for example. This class is not that good for pushing, which you'll be mostly doing on the allies, but on maps like Itter, it is very good for defending. It's also when attacking with high firepower can deny certain areas to your enemy, which makes it a lot easier to funnel the enemy into certain chokeholds, if you're smart about it, of course. As always, cover is your best friend, no matter with what class, but with this class especially, since you can't really move between cover that fast, and even with the extra 10 health, this is sitting dark if you're out in the open. You should place your helmet crate near high traffic areas for your team. For example, the bridge on Omaha, over bridge on Nyck, over bridge on Itter. Basically, just bridges are good, and it can definitely help you get some extra XP from your helmet crates. This class is actually pretty useful in some scenarios, but most outshined by medic and assault. So especially on the beach, this gun is pretty good in the same spot where Rifleman is. So you just climb up this left bunker here, and you can just pretty easily spawn camp the Germans, which is free XP. And if you reload and extra health, you're likely to survive quite a bit over here. And this gun isn't all that inaccurate at long range either, so it's definitely workable, at least in this scenario. Yeah, this gun is low-key slept on when it comes to spawn killing and farming XP in other ways. Everyone always talks about the MG42, but this gun, when in the right hands, is actually very capable of doing some nasty work. As always, not as accurate as Rifleman, but if you prefer a more versatile class that uses automatic weapons, this is definitely the one for you if you don't like playing medic. With this class, you can just sit back, relax, find some good cover, and just aim for the head. It's pretty much the middle ground between Rifleman and, let's say, Assault, because it has decent range, not perfect accuracy, but what can you do? It has very good health. It's a bit slower than usual, but Riflemen don't really need that, do they? So you can just stay and camp in your one spot. Don't expect to get super high kill streaks with this class, but if you're just bored of Riflemen and want to play something else, I think that this might be the class for you, on Axis or on Allies. And I think that this is the perfect class for mobile players as well. Yes, I haven't forgotten about you guys. It is very easy to manage because it's an automatic weapon, so you don't need to have very low mouse sensitivity to use it, unlike Rifleman. So overall, this class is actually really good. Not perfect, no classes, apart from maybe 4 and 8, which is just pay to win, but you know, that's how it is. In most scenarios, however, this will get you by, no problem, especially if you're a free-to-play player or on an old account or something similar. You can really throw high-level players with it, which I think is the best part about it. Yeah, with this class, you won't hit all of your shots, especially with the bar, but the ones that do hit hard, so you don't even need that many hits to kill someone. So of course, shooting in bursts is the way to go, unless you want to just mag dump into a whole team, which, you know, it's up to you, but that's probably not the best way to do this. Okay, that's it guys. I hope the guide has helped you, and let me know what class you want me to do next. Anyways, I will see you guys later. See ya.